that it's totally unscriptural. And I told them, but know this first of all, that no prophecy of scriptures is a matter of one's own interpretation, but no prophecy was ever made by an act of human will, but moved by men with Holy Spirit spoken from God. I says, please show me the scriptural basis for this edict. And they couldn't do it. And right then and there, when they restricted my privilege of going out and talking to other potential Christians or talking to other Christians that might not have the same point of view, that rubbed me the wrong way. And then that's when I started my biblical search for even more truth or elevated truth from where I was at. It brought to mind scripture. And that scripture was 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 2, where Paul says, I gave you milk, but not solid food. You were not ready for solid food. In fact, you are still not ready. And I thought that quite possibly is the elders, or are the elders. That's the faithful and discreet slave. That's the rank and file. Those are the servants in congregations all over the world. You're still stuck on mankind's traditions. You go out and you talk about other religions, not following Jehovah's rules and regulations that's in the Bible, but you're guilty of the same exact problem. Doctrines of men. Point, case, and example for maybe you old school witnesses that have been in the faith for decades. 1975, but there was new light on that. More recently, the two witness rule, but there was a standing by, and I quote that, we stand by our two witness rule, but then had to recant and say that there's new light. Then there's a problem with all the pedophilia that's going all over Jehovah's Witness ranks worldwide, and that's the reason why the society has had to sell off millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars of property all over the world to pay for reparations of people that have been sexually molested, that the elders in their congregations did not protect them from once they were told about the situation. Places like Patterson or Bethel having records of pedophiles. Well, look at my little family here. Oh my gosh, they've come around looking for food. Records of known pedophiles in Jehovah's Witness ranks that were not given to the proper authorities. That's the reason why elders such as, or not elders, but governing body members such as Jeffrey Johnson, having to give testimony at the Australian Royal Commission for Pedophilia, not give up those records, knowing that they have databases with known pedophiles in them. But these are our scriptural leaders. When I started to ask questions, then it made me public enemy number one at the hall, to where I had lost friends, and I say CFs, conditional friends, people that I thought were family, people that I thought were real friends. No. I wasn't drinking the tea. I was asking questions that I shouldn't be asking because I had a real thirst for spiritual knowledge. That's what's going to lead me into a complete video series of the questions that I had asked. That's what led me into having my own ministry on YouTube to invigorate, to stimulate, to encourage people that have been thrown away by the Watchtower and told, like I was told, oh, you're unfit to represent Jehovah's Witnesses. No one can stop your mouth. No one can stop your thought process. No one can shield your mouth from speaking Jehovah's truth. If you allow that to happen, then guess what? There's other scriptures that come into mind that you could be a slave and you did not do what you were supposed to do with the master's coins that were given, and great repercussions can happen. The coins is your spiritual knowledge. And if you're not giving your spiritual knowledge to help other people out of the fog or out of the storm that they find themselves in, are you held responsible? Just like the governing body pushing a narrative of 1914, that's going to be another video that I'm going to disseminate the lies of 1914 and how it cannot stand scripturally, and it cannot stand from a secular standpoint. I'm going to make that video, and that's coming up soon. I'm going to make another video or videos in regards to the two witness rule. I'm going to make videos in regards to how elders try to trap you and trying to find fault with you rather than try to ever even talk about the scriptures. There's been times that I've tried to talk scriptures over with elders to get their take on scriptural matters such as 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, 3, and 4. They didn't even want to look at the Bible to understand that, and I actually used or shared that scripture with an anointed person on multiple occasions, and it went over their head like a B-52 bomber with a landing gear that touched their hair, and they still couldn't see the B-52 bomber for the life of them. But I don't want to get too far off track. I want to thank you for spending your time. So if you like the content that you heard today, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe, because you might know other people that are facing shunning, or maybe you're going through that same exact thing and you don't understand where it's coming from. No, it's coming from the so-called CF or conditional friends, and it's also coming from municipalities that are of the air that you cannot see, that have automatically figured out, wait a minute, this person's veil has been uncovered. We don't like that. Make this person into an example, and nobody, whether it's secularly or scripturally in your own congregation, wants to get shunned. Everybody wants to feel a part of something bigger than themselves or belong to a group or an organization. Nobody ever wants to be a lone wolf, but sometimes you have to be a lone wolf for Jehovah to work his spirit to make what your personal commission come to fruition. You have to be that renegade, but you have to be a renegade for all the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. I've looked at a ton of JW Apostate videos, and yes, when you look at those videos, a great deal of you need to be DF'd for what you've done because you know better. But for those that are witnessing shunning for all the right reasons, because you ask questions, because whatever was the doctrine that ruffled your feathers, that was being promoted, didn't sit well with your heart and with your mind, and especially with the scriptures, you decided to deviate from, and that made you what you are. Guess what? You are a very strong individual that's capable of thinking for yourself and in interpreting the scriptures for what they are meant to do, and that's to teach and reprove. Don't be ashamed of what you are. Don't be ashamed of your feelings. Don't be ashamed of your inferences. Don't be ashamed of your instincts. Once again, what does that scripture say? When you hear that voice behind you saying, no, this is the way, best believe, listen to it, because that's Jehovah and the Lamb speaking to you. So once again, like, share, and subscribe. More videos are on their way. Let me know what you think by putting comments in the description below, and let me know what you truly think. I want your feedback, because guess what? You are not alone. We are in this struggle together, and the struggle is for everlasting life, not the approval of your fellow brothers and sisters, or your alleged fellow brothers and sisters, the alleged faithful and discreet slave, the alleged shepherds of the flock. If you are a shepherd, then do the shepherdly thing and listen Be slow to speak and quick to hear, rather than to damn and prosecute and come up with false narratives and inferences based on what you see, but analyze what's in a person's mind and in their heart and what they say. That's the key. Thank you very much. Like, share, and subscribe. You all have a good one, and like I said, see you on the next video.